thank goodness it's not called WrestleMania Backlash. It's back to being just Backlash. Or
Thank you, Triple H.
I don't know how Backlash in French, Doug. So I'll just say that this is the first premium live event to take place in France. We're not giving spoilers. We're giving predictions, Doug.
We are the anti-Haymans.
Well, I don't ever want to be the anti-Haymans.
I know, right?
We're Paul Heyman guys here.
We are Paul Heyman guys, absolutely. Kevin,
That gives us a good jumping off point.
I've got a list of just 5 matches here. Is this right?
They'll probably add one more match before Showtime, but I got 5 matches here, and that's probably right if they get 6 in on what tends to be tighter shows for Triple H. But we're talking Paul Heyman, so let's start with that Bloodline match, Doug. We got Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga, who has already made just quite the impression. And my goodness, if we knew Solo would be this entertaining, they should have let him start speaking a long time ago. It's been great, man. But they're taking on the OGs here with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. You can't have the Bloodline lose, though, can you?
You can't.
You cannot have early on.
No, you cannot have Tama Tonga lose his first match in WWE. You can't have Solo Sikoa as this pseudo tribal chief or whatever he is lose. Orton
and undercut everything if they lost in their first real pay-per-view contest.
I mean, if we're gonna hold off on Jacob Fatu being, debuting, maybe we do it at the pay-per-view where he's the run-in to save the Bloodline, a la like old school Bloodline, in every other Bloodline match. I don't know, but they can't lose. Can't.
If you're going to continue the Bloodline story of this match, it would make sense to do something along those lines. So yeah, they win, they don't win fairly, or it's a no contest. If they don't want Randy Orton and Kevin Owens going down on pay-per-view, it's very likely that this one does end up in a DQ or something along those lines. But definitely, you're not getting the Bloodline losing.
Or you make the two of them so dominant, which is very much unlike other Bloodline main events where there's always some, or, not that this is going to be a main event, but other Bloodline matches where there's always some sort of shenanigans and everything. You just have Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa go in there and just wreck the place, destroy Orton, destroy Owens, and just walk out, and just done and done. And it establishes a very new precedent for the Bloodline where you don't need the numbers, you've got the power. It could go like that.
There's many ways to go with this, but the way that I think Doug and I are both agreeing it will not go is with either of those Samoans going out on their backs to a 1, 2, 3.
Agreed.
How about the Women's Tag Team Championship, Doug? We've got the Kabuki Warriors, your champions, defending against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Baby faces here have kind of continued their relationship that they established prior to WrestleMania. I didn't know if that would be a one-time thing, but since it isn't, I'm going new champions here.
Absolutely. You have to go. We're going new champions here because then we're going to have a decent reign of these two with the women's titles, right? And they can move around then because they're the one champion that's not locked into some place. So they can continue to move around, but this will lead eventually to Bianca Jade, because that is a money match right there. When that team breaks up, oh my.
This might be the female version of the 80s Mega Powers, where you had Randy and Hulk, who are not obviously meant to be together, but will eventually implode because, one, no one can beat them. Except themselves eventually. Yes. And these two are such powerhouses. There's no way I think that the Kabuki Warriors can go over here. And that's no offense to the Kabuki Warriors, who have been extremely entertaining, but Damage Control, as entertaining as they've been, feels like they're kind of done. And so I think that this is the next step to that castle crumbling down. And to Doug's point, the beginning of what is, I think, going to be a long storyline that's being told in an eventual breakup between Jade and Bianca, and what's going to be a fantastic must-see match. Might ride this all the way out till next year's Mania.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. You establish, you build, you plant seeds, you start a slow burn, and by WrestleMania, they are ready to kill each other.
Let's talk about the former member of Damage Control having her first major championship title defense. You got a three-way match for the women's championship. Bayley, the champion, defending against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. Doug, I'm saying it here. Bayley is not losing in her post-Mania match, but Tiffany Stratton's not losing either. Naomi's taking this pinfall.
I agree. It's not quite Tiffy time yet, but we will get there. But yeah, Naomi's taking the pin here. We're probably going to be lockstep on every one of these matches, but yeah,
Again,
Bayley can't lose already. She can't.
It's kind of like we were talking about with the draft. Sometimes it's okay to not just do things for the shock value of it. Sometimes it's okay to be logical. Logically speaking, Bayley is a completely over champion who just had her feel good moment. It's too soon to lose that. On the other hand, it's way too soon to see Tiffy time snuffed out because there's so much potential there, and the fans are hugely in support of Tiffany Stratton too, despite being on the heel side of things. Odd person out in this is the good soldier of Naomi, who can play this off into a relationship breakdown between her and Bayley if they want to go that route with it. But
absolutely,
Tiffy time she'll get herself a singles match for the championship down the line, and then we might have a harder time predicting who's going to win that one. That's how talented this young lady is.
Yeah, it's just not Tiffy time yet.
Let's talk about someone else whose time it may or may not be, Doug. I think that one of the more shocking things to come out of WrestleMania is that your World Heavyweight Champion would be Damian Priest. Even though I like it, but Priest versus Jey Uso, who has done a good job of establishing himself as a singles wrestler and as a face, a main eventer. But I also don't think that Damian Priest is going to lose right out the gate either.
See, that's me. I don't think they're going to take the belt off this champion either. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, why let this man carry around a Money in the Bank for a year, finally cash it in, only to take it away like a month later?
It wouldn't make a lot of sense.
No.
But I also think there's some value in the parity of having one of your world champions be a face and another be a heel. And so I think that having a heel champion on the 3-hour show gives a lot of opportunity for baby faces on the 3-hour show to rise. You know, your Brum Breakers who just got traded over there. Like there's a lot of cool matches that have not been seen with a Damian Priest on top. And as much as I like Jay and I think he's done a great job of establishing himself as a solo act, much like Tiffy, not his time, even though he's been around a while. It doesn't mean he's out of the picture, but I do think he's taking the loss here.
He's taking the law, and he's got the numbers game against him here, which is something he knows all about, being a former Bloodline member. Even though I almost called them the Dark Order. That's not right, or the New Order.
Wrong brand.
The House of Purple is, they're dwindling. Mommy's gone, and Dom is on the shelf. He's got a broken wing or a lame wing, but we still got a couple of guys there to help out Damian and push him through to victory.
That actually is a good point, though. I mean, with both the injuries and everything else that's besetting Judgment Day, doesn't that make it even more likely that Damian Priest needs to sort of hold the flag for that group while everyone gets healthy by maintaining the championship for a while, having a strong run?
Absolutely. They lose those unified tag team titles. Mommy has to drop the title to, go and get her shoulder fixed and be out for months on end. And then Dom is just on the shelf now with like a house show injury. So, and he's going to be out for quite a while, it sounds like. It's not a good time for Judgment Day.
Not a good time for Judgment Day. It will be a good time for Damian Priest, though, who is going to continue to be your World Heavyweight Champion after Backlash. And Doug, we haven't been in disagreement on any match thus far. So I guess this means that you think that AJ Styles is beating Cody Rhodes. And there's no way in the world, again, logically speaking, AJ Styles will be a great opponent to get a great match. He and Cody, two veterans working together in is a fresh contest, something we've not seen. AJ earned this by winning a triple threat. That is your prize, AJ Styles, because Cody Rhodes has quite obviously not just been made the champion. This isn't just the finishing of Cody's story at WrestleMania. Cody is the new face of WWE.
Absolutely.
You don't have to like that. I mean, plenty of people didn't like it with Roman. I'm not saying he's going to have as long a run as Roman did, but this Triple H era has one man at the front of it, and it's obvious that anointed person is Cody Rhodes, who is a good face representation of the company, says all the right things, looks great on the talk shows in New York and LA. I see no signs that this Cody run, while I don't think we'll see anything close to what we had with Roman, I do think we're going to see a lengthy Cody Rhodes run on top, barring injury.
Cannot disagree with anything you said, brother.
If anyone disagrees with what Doug and I agree on this one, let us know in the comments.
I would love to hear how you all would look at this. Me too, but not this time. Not with this match.
I can't disagree. I'd like to see him with one of the world titles. Maybe make it the one over on Raw right now, because I don't think the one on SmackDown is going anywhere. I agree, Scott. Like kind of what we saw with AEW recently and Samoa Joe, seeing that those legacy guys that came out of Ring of Honor and the Indies and TNA hold world titles again would be pretty cool. I think AJ does have another possible one in him. I like to see Brian Danielson do the same thing in AEW, but not this time, not this match. Well, that's all of WWE Backlash preview. Check it out, airing from France. It's going to be exclusive on Peacock, and we will be back to see if we got any of these wrong since we're in lockstep. Let's see if they were just so logical that WWE booking does the exact same thing that we say they're going to be doing, or if they try any curveballs. We'll have the full rundown next show.
We're just two old marks that love the ring. We're here to bring all the latest news, the wrestling scene, from the WWE to AEW. We got the scoop and we're sharing with you. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, we're tuned in. Rampage, Dynamite, Impact, we won't miss a thing. ROH and JPW, we got them covered too. We love wrestling just like you do. The Two Bros Wrestling Show, we're never slow. Covering our promotions, we're ready to go. The kings of the ring, we're taking the crown. Wrestling news, we're breaking it down.